Welcome back to Dreamy Train Tales. Thank you for joining me tonight. Now let's settle down and begin our journey together. If this brings you peace, please like and subscribe so we can explore more historic railways together, but only if it truly helps you unwind. And if you'd like, please share in the comments where you're listening from and what time of day it is for you right now. If you genuinely appreciate these journeys, you can support my channel by buying me a coffee through the link in the description. Every coffee helps me improve and create even more relaxing adventures for you. Thank you so much for your support. Tonight, you find yourself standing on the platform of Omsk station in the heart of Siberia in the warmth of a summer morning in the 1910s. The sky is a wide expanse of blue, the air filled with the scent of dust, sun-warmed wood, and faint traces of coal smoke. A gentle breeze moves through the platform, carrying the distant voices of porters, the soft call of vendors offering bread, fruit, and tea. The grand station building rises behind you, its brick and stone a symbol of a city that has become one of the key crossroads of this immense land. Before we begin this journey together, take a moment to settle in wherever you are. Let your shoulders release their weight. Let your hands rest comfortably in your lap and take a long, steady breath. Feel the air move in, cool and calm, and drift out, carrying with it the last remnants of the day's tension. You are here now, with the Orient of Russia unfolding before you, with the promise of a long summer journey stretching across the horizon. The train before you is vast, its line of carriages gleaming in the morning sun. Steam rises in great clouds from the locomotive, drifting upward into the clear sky. The iron wheels rest heavy on the rails, their strength evident even in stillness, their polished edges catching flashes of light. Porters move along the line, checking latches, adjusting steps, calling to one another as they make their final preparations. Passengers gather on the platform, some in fine summer coats, others in simple working clothes, their voices blending into a low, constant hum. You step toward your carriage, the polished brass handle cool beneath your hand. The door opens smoothly and you enter the shaded interior, where the air is cooler, touched by the faint scent of polished wood and clean linen. The cabin welcomes you with velvet seats, soft under your touch, and a tall window that frames the wide expanse outside. You take your place, settling against the cushions, feeling the firmness beneath your back, the safety of being enclosed in this small, moving world. A whistle sounds, long and low, reverberating through the air. Steam hisses, brakes release with a sigh, and the locomotive breathes deeply, its great engine coming alive. The first pull is strong, the second steady, and soon the wheels turn, slowly at first, then faster, finding their rhythm. The platform begins to slide past, porters raising their caps in farewell, passengers waving from the station steps. The city recedes, its brick buildings fading into the distance, replaced by the wide, open land beyond. The Trans-Siberian Railway, completed in the early years of the 20th century, is the longest railway in the world, stretching thousands of miles from Moscow to Vladivostok. Its construction was an immense undertaking, carried out over decades, through forests, rivers, mountains, and endless stretches of steppe. For travelers in the 1910s, it offered not only a means of crossing Russia, but also a journey into its heart, a thread of iron binding together cities, villages, and lands once separated by impossible distances. As the train gathers speed, you watch the land unfold through your window. The city gives way to the steppe, endless and golden beneath the Sunday. Grass ripples in the breeze like waves across an inland sea, the horizon stretching so far that earth and sky seem to merge. Here and there, clusters of birch trees rise from the plain, their white trunks gleaming, their leaves trembling in the wind. Small wooden houses appear, scattered in the distance, their roofs red or grey against the wide expanse. The steady rhythm of the wheels becomes the music of your journey, a constant pattern of sound and motion. The carriage sways gently, rocking you into stillness, as though the train itself were a cradle moving in time with your breath. You feel your body responding, your shoulders loosening further, your arms resting heavier against the seat. Each moment carries you deeper into calm, deeper into the quiet promise of the journey ahead. Inside the carriage, other travelers murmur softly. A man adjusts his newspaper, the rustle faint against the steady rhythm. A woman pours tea into a porcelain cup, the spoon clinking gently as she stirs in sugar. The scents of strong tea, fresh bread, and coal smoke drift through the air, blending into an atmosphere that is both lively and hushed. The Orient of Russia is alive around you, yet within your cabin you remain wrapped in peace. Beyond the window, the land stretches endlessly. Horses graze in distant fields, their movements slow and graceful. A shepherd walks with his flock, the white forms of sheep moving like drifting clouds across the grass. Smoke rises faintly from a village, the smell of wood fires imagined as though it reaches you even here. Every sight belongs to the rhythm of the journey, each one passing without hurry, each one absorbed into the steady motion of the train. The sun rises higher, filling the sky with brilliance. Heat shimmers above the grasslands, bending the horizon, making the distant air ripple like water. The train presses onward, unbothered, its great engine steady, its wheels relentless. You feel that strength beneath you, the unbroken motion of steel and steam, and yet inside, the calm remains. You are carried, safe, rocked into stillness by the rhythm of a journey that has only just begun. The steppe stretches wide, and the train carries you deeper into it, each mile a thread woven into memory, each sound a lullaby, each moment an invitation to rest. The morning heat grows stronger as the train leaves Omsk behind and carries you steadily across the open steppe. The city has faded into memory, replaced now by endless expanses of land that stretch to the horizon in every direction. The windows frame a view so vast that it feels as though you are adrift on an inland sea of grass, golden under the brilliance of the summer Sunday. The rhythm of the train is constant, a steady beat of wheels against rails, each click a reassurance, each sway a gentle rocking. You lean more fully into the velvet seat, your body loosening, your breath matching the pace. The Orient of Russia moves onward, unhurried yet unstoppable, carrying you deeper into the heart of Siberia. Outside, the grasses ripple in waves, shifting as the breeze passes over them. Sometimes the land appears perfectly flat, an unbroken plain that stretches forever, while at other times shallow ridges rise gently, offering variation in the sweep of the land. Birch groves appear like islands, their trunks white against the green, their leaves trembling as though whispering to one another in the wind. The steppe is not empty. Villages emerge, scattered along the railway, their houses made of wood, their roofs weathered by sun and wind. Smoke rises faintly from chimneys, curling upward into the sky. Children run along dirt roads, some waving as the train passes, their laughter carried in your imagination. Farmers work the fields with horse-drawn ploughs, the soil dark and rich, ready to yield wheat that will later be harvested under the same vast skies. The Trans-Siberian Railway was built to connect places such as these, villages that once seemed impossibly distant from the centers of power in Moscow or St. Petersburg. Completed in sections across the final decades of the 19th century and into the early 20th, the line opened Siberia to trade, travel, and settlement. By the 1910s, it had become more than a lifeline. It was a symbol of connection, a ribbon of iron stretching across two continents, binding the empire together. You let these thoughts drift through your mind as the train sways. The sound of the wheels is soothing, a low and steady hum that never falters. Your eyelids grow heavier, and though you keep them open, the world beyond the window seems softer, as though viewed through a gentle haze. You breathe in slow and calm, and breathe out deeper still, each exhale carrying you further into ease. The landscape changes subtly with each passing hour. The golden grasses grow taller in places, waving high above the ground. Rivers cut across the land, their surfaces shimmering in the heat, their banks lined with willows. Horses drink from the water's edge, their reflections rippling. Wooden bridges carry the railway across these rivers, the sound of the wheels changing as the iron meets planks, hollow and musical. Each crossing adds a variation to the steady rhythm, like a verse in a song, before returning again to the familiar pattern of the rails. Inside the carriage, life continues at its own quiet pace. A samovar hisses gently, offering hot water for tea, its steam curling upward in the dim light. The scent of black tea mingles with the faint aroma of fresh bread, filling the cabin with warmth. A steward moves softly through the corridor, his footsteps muffled, his presence calm and unobtrusive. Everything within this small world moves slowly, designed for comfort, designed for rest. The afternoon sun pours through the window, filling the cabin with light. You shift slightly, finding a more comfortable position, letting your body sink into the cushions. The gentle sway of the train rocks you, a cradle of movement that needs no effort, no thought. You close your eyes briefly, letting the warmth of the sun rest upon your face, letting the sound of the wheels carry you inward, into stillness. When you open your eyes again, the world outside has changed. A herd of cattle grazes near the track, their shapes dark against the pale grasses. Further on, a group of nomadic tents appears in the distance, their canvas walls gleaming in the sun. Smoke drifts above them, thin and pale against the sky. Life on the steppe moves in rhythm with the seasons, and you pass through it now, a quiet observer carried gently forward. The train slows as it approaches a small station, little more than a wooden building with a platform shaded by a simple roof. Villagers gather as the carriages pull in, some carrying baskets of food to sell, others simply watching as the great machine passes through. The wheels ease to a crawl, the brakes sighing, and for a moment the rhythm pauses. Passengers stir, stretching their legs, glancing out at the scene. A boy sells apples, their skins red and shining, holding them up to the windows. A woman offers bread wrapped in cloth, her face lined with years of work and sun. The exchange is quick, voices soft, smiles fleeting. Then the whistle sounds again, and the train moves on, the rhythm returning, the landscape opening wide once more. Beyond the station, the horizon stretches farther still. The sky is immense, a dome of blue without cloud, the sun now higher and brighter, the heat shimmering across the plains. The air seems to tremble, creating mirages, pools of water that vanish as the train draws closer. The grasses ripple in waves, their color shifting from pale gold to deep green, depending on the light. It is a land of repetition and variation, always the same, always changing. The afternoon lengthens, shadows growing longer as the sun begins its slow descent. The train moves steadily, its pace unhurried, its rhythm unchanged. You remain within it, your body at ease, your breath slow and deep. You notice the weight of your limbs, heavy against the seat, the softness of your hands resting still. The journey has become part of you, the rhythm within and without joined as one. Occasionally, the line passes through clusters of trees, their shade a cool relief from the open plain. Birds scatter as the locomotive approaches, rising into the air in sudden bursts before settling again behind you. The air outside shimmers with life, grasshoppers leaping, dragonflies darting, the faint suggestion of wind moving across the land. You watch it all in silence, carried by the steady beat of the rails. The afternoon begins to drift toward evening. The heat softens slightly, the sun lowering toward the horizon, the colors of the steppe deepening into gold and amber. Villages appear again, smoke curling from chimneys, dogs running along paths, children waving with arms raised high. Each scene is a brief glimpse, a passing moment, absorbed into the steady unfolding of the journey. You feel the weight of time loosening, the hours merging, the journey itself becoming timeless. The train carries you onward, always onward, through the vastness of Siberia, across the endless summer steppe. The rhythm holds you, steady and calm, guiding you deeper into rest, deeper into quiet, deeper into peace. The afternoon air deepens into a softer warmth as the train glides steadily eastward, its wheels marking time with a rhythm that has now become part of your own breathing. The landscape outside stretches vast and unbroken, a boundless sweep of steppe shimmering under the golden light of the descending sun. Each sway of the carriage rocks you gently, each steady click of the rails easing you further into calm, deeper into the quiet embrace of the journey. Beyond the window, the colors of the steppe shift with the changing hour. Where midday brightness washed the plains in pale gold, the later afternoon brings tones of amber and copper, the grasses glowing with hidden fire as the sun lowers toward the horizon. Long shadows stretch across the land, cast by scattered birch trees and low ridges. In places, the earth glows red, clay soil revealed beneath the grasses, adding richness to the palette of the land. You lean closer to the glass, your breath clouding the pain for a moment before clearing again. The air inside remains warm, infused with the faint scents of tea and polished wood. A steward moves softly along the corridor, adjusting lamps in anticipation of dusk. The quiet clink of glass against brass joins the steady hum of the wheels, a subtle rhythm within the greater song of the railway. The Trans-Siberian line, stretching more than 5,000 miles, was by this time already the longest railway in the world. Its construction had begun in the 1890s, a monumental project intended to bridge the immense distances of the Russian Empire. By the 1910s, the line from Moscow to Vladivostok was nearly complete, its iron threads binding together Europe and Asia, cities and villages, pastures and ports. As you sit now within its carriages, you feel the weight of that achievement. A journey once thought impossible, now carried forward each day by the turning of steel wheels. The train enters a stretch of rolling steppe, where low hills rise and fall gently against the horizon. Herds of horses graze freely here, their bodies dark against the glowing grasses, their manes lifted by the breeze. A few lift their heads as the train passes, before returning to their grazing. The sight lingers in your mind, a reminder of the wildness that still lives upon these plains. Villages appear again, each one a collection of wooden houses with roofs of thatch or tin, their walls painted in soft blues and greens. Farmers lead cattle back from pastures, their shadows long in the late afternoon light. Women draw water from wells, their movements slow and steady, practiced through generations. Children chase one another near the station platforms, waving as the train glides past. Each glimpse is brief, yet each feels timeless, a moment preserved in the unbroken rhythm of the journey. The train slows again at a larger station, its wooden facade painted in pale yellow, its roof edged with decorative trim. The name of the town is written in Cyrillic letters across the front, the script elegant, the sounds unfamiliar yet inviting. Passengers step down from the carriages, stretching their legs upon the platform. Vendors approach, carrying baskets of food. Apples, boiled eggs, smoked fish wrapped in paper. Their voices rise in gentle calls, offering their goods, the words blending into a chorus of sound. The scent of smoked fish drifts briefly into the carriage, mingling with the aroma of tea, before fading as the doors close and the whistle sounds once more. You lean back, feeling the cushions embrace you, your body heavy and relaxed. The train moves again, gathering pace, its rhythm resuming, carrying you deeper into the steppe. The sound of the whistle echoes across the plains, long and low, fading into the distance as the train presses onward. Evening descends gradually, the sun dipping lower, the light softening to hues of rose and violet. The sky becomes a vast canvas of color, painted in slow, deliberate strokes. The grasses catch this light, glowing with an otherworldly radiance, as though each blade were touched with fire. You watch in stillness, letting the scene unfold. The temperature begins to cool. A faint breeze seeps through the cracks in the window frame, carrying with it the scent of dry grass and distant smoke. Inside, lamps are lit, their glow soft and golden, casting warm halos upon polished wood and brass. Shadows stretch across the cabin, deepening the sense of calm. The samovar continues to hiss gently, its steam a comforting presence in the quiet. A fellow passenger stirs nearby, unfolding a blanket, settling more deeply into their seat. Their movements are unhurried, their presence quiet, a companion in the shared rhythm of the journey. You mirror them in your own way, adjusting your position, letting your body find its ease, letting your mind drift. The train carries you across a bridge spanning a wide river, its waters dark and reflective beneath the twilight sky. The sound of the wheels deepens as they cross the timbers, hollow and resonant, a gentle percussion that lingers before returning to the smoother rhythm of rails. The river flows steadily, its surface catching the last light of the sun, a ribbon of silver winding through the darkening land. Beyond the bridge, the steppe opens once more, vast and unbroken, the horizon now blurred as dusk settles in. The first stars appear faintly above, distant points of light scattered across the deepening blue. The world outside grows quieter, the villages fewer, the fields stretching wider. The land feels endless, timeless, carrying you deeper into its embrace. As darkness gathers, the train glows softly from within. Lamps illuminate the corridor, their light reflecting against the windows, merging with the fading colors of the sky. The carriages sway gently, their movements steady, their sounds constant. The world has narrowed to this rhythm, this glow, this quiet unfolding of time. The Trans-Siberian Railway was more than a line of travel. It was a promise of connection, a lifeline for trade, for families, for explorers, for dreamers. Each mile carried not only passengers but also hopes, ambitions, and the weight of history. As you rest within its embrace, you feel yourself part of that story, woven gently into the long thread of its journey. The evening deepens further. Stars emerge more brightly now, scattered in endless constellations across the sky. The moon rises pale above the horizon, its light cool and silvery, casting a quiet sheen across the steppe. Shadows lengthen, and the land becomes a vast ocean of darkness, the grasses whispering in the breeze, the villages hidden in slumber. You breathe more deeply, the rhythm of the train holding you steady. Each inhale draws in calm. Each exhale releases the remnants of wakefulness. Your body is heavy, your thoughts softened, your presence anchored in the gentle sway, the quiet glow, the endless motion eastward. The train moves steadily into night. The steppe remains vast and silent, yet within its silence you find peace. The rhythm continues, unchanging, steady, eternal, carrying you onward, carrying you deeper into rest. Night settles fully across the steppe as the train glides forward, its carriages glowing softly against the dark. The rhythm of the wheels continues, steady and unbroken, each click and hum a gentle lullaby. The air inside feels cooler now, freshened by the evening breeze that seeps through small cracks along the windows. You shift slightly, pulling the blanket closer, letting the warmth settle around your shoulders. Outside, the horizon has disappeared into shadow. The steppe stretches unseen, yet its presence remains vast, an endless expanse that lies beyond the reach of lamplight. Only the stars bear witness now, scattered across the sky in countless points of silver. The Milky Way arches above, luminous and serene, its glow softening the darkness. Each star seems to pulse faintly with the rhythm of the rails, as if sky and earth share the same heartbeat. The train passes through another village, its station quiet, its houses darkened. Only a few lamps glow faintly in the distance, and a lone figure moves slowly across the platform. The whistle sounds, low and resonant, echoing across the silent land. In moments, the village fades again into shadow, the train carrying you forward into the solitude of night. A steward steps softly into the carriage, checking lamps, ensuring each is turned down to a gentler glow. He places a folded blanket upon a nearby seat, his movements quiet and practiced, his presence steady and reassuring. The hiss of the samovar continues in the background, though now the tea is untouched, its warmth lingering only in the air. The steward nods politely before moving on, his footsteps fading into the rhythm of the rails. You let your eyes close briefly, the sounds of the train filling your awareness. The sway of the carriage, the soft hum of wheels, the faint creak of wood, all blend together into a single lull. The motion carries you deeper, your body surrendering to the comfort of the seat, your breathing slowing, your thoughts dissolving into stillness. Occasionally, the train crosses a small bridge, the sound of wheels shifting briefly into a deeper tone, resonant against the timbers, before returning again to the smoother rhythm of steel on steel. Each variation becomes part of the music, each sound blending into the greater whole. The land outside remains silent, the sky above eternal, the journey unbroken. You open your eyes again, just enough to catch a glimpse of the moonlight outside. It falls across the steppe in pale ribbons, illuminating patches of grass, the glimmer of a stream, the faint outline of distant hills. The world seems both vast and close, both infinite and intimate, as though you are moving through a dream. By this time in history, the Trans-Siberian Railway had become not only a route of travel, but also a lifeline of connection. Entire towns depended upon its rhythm, goods and letters carried across immense distances, soldiers and families reunited by its steady passage. The railway had transformed life across Russia, binding its farthest reaches together, making the impossible attainable. You carry that thought with you as you rest, the sense of being part of something greater than yourself, a thread in the endless fabric of the journey. The hours deepen. The stars wheel slowly overhead, their light constant, their presence eternal. The train continues, its movement steady, its rhythm soothing. Each mile draws you further eastward, each moment carrying you deeper into quiet, deeper into rest. The carriages remain warm, their glow soft, their sway steady, a cradle in the vastness of night. You exhale softly, the tension long dissolved from your body. Your shoulders are loose, your hands still, your breath slow and even. The train holds you in its rhythm, its motion unceasing, its sound eternal. The night is vast, yet you feel safe within it, carried forward by the steady turning of wheels, the gentle hum of the journey. As this gentle journey draws toward its peaceful close, you feel the rhythm of the train slowing slightly, though its sound remains steady and calm. The rails hum softly beneath you, their song quieter now, as if whispering you into rest. The glow of the lamps has dimmed to the faintest light, just enough to hold back the shadows, yet soft enough to let your body surrender fully to calm. Your breathing has become slower, easier, matching the pace of the train itself. Each inhale feels cool and steady, each exhale warm and releasing. The sway of the carriage rocks you gently, cradling you in its embrace, carrying you deeper into the quiet. Outside, the night remains vast, the stars uncountable, the moon gliding in silence across the darkened steppe, yet you no longer feel the distance of the land. Instead, the world feels close, its sounds gentle, its presence reassuring. The journey continues, but for you, it has become timeless, an endless lull guiding you towards sleep. You shift once more into the perfect position, the blanket drawn closer, the cushions soft against your back. Your eyes are heavy now, the sounds of the train blurring into dream. Each moment draws you nearer to rest, The night holds you, the journey carries you, and sleep welcomes you. Sweet dreams and good night.